Many who believe the Occupy Wall Street movement was all but dead after its dramatic removal from Zuccotti Park last fall may have been surprised to see the group popping up once again in the days after Hurricane Sandy. But this time, Occupy wasn't organizing protests. They were calling on their large network to come to the aid of those hit hardest by the storm.
Operations in Jacoby started the Wednesday after the storm. I came in that Friday, so within the first week.
Brett Goldberg joined Occupy last fall and considers himself to be a full-time activist. He started working with Occupy Sandy in the aftermath of the storm, helping to coordinate volunteers at the group's hub in Brooklyn's St. Jacoby Church.
So I came in, started fielding questions and inquiries that were coming in on Twitter and Facebook, and then within a few days, because by answering all those questions and things, I started getting a big picture idea of what was going on. I started doing site coordination, and that's primarily what I've been doing since.
For longtime Occupy supporters like Jessica Roff, the shift from organizing in the park to community aid was a natural extension of the movement's original mission.
When we were down in the park, like those first couple of months, it really was a community that was really communal and really supportive of itself and of each other and of people coming in. And there was feeding going on, and there was care going on, and there was medical attention, and there were clothing, and there were tents, and there were sleeping bags, and people's needs were provided for in that park, whether you had the means to bring it yourself or not. And that's what we're doing out here too. So I don't really think it's that different.
What Occupy Sandy is doing is it's making a lot of the Occupy organizing very tangible for people.
Jill Dowling was not a regular Occupy participant, but reconnected with the group in the days after Sandy while looking for a way to help.
I did go out to some of the Occupy Wall Street protests on days when there were larger kind of groups of people who were out there, like there were teachers and unions out one day, and that was a really motivating march to be a part of. So I'd say I'm friends with Occupy Wall Street, but and I try and keep aware of what's going on, and I do that mainly through Facebook or through my friends who are involved.
It is definitely bringing in people who never really connected with Occupy before, but now it's starting to click for them in a different way. And we're working with a lot of communities that we were never really able to reach with the park. Being in the financial district was limiting in a lot of ways, but now we're in there actually working in the communities.
Many of the donations collected at St. Jacoby Church are taken to the Rockaways, where residents are still struggling weeks after the storm. Volunteers like Devlin, who are helping with recovery efforts on the ground, may not have been affiliated with Occupy before Sandy, but have come to be sympathetic to the political aspects of the movement.
I mean, I was a little wary, just as I am generally, of ideology and sort of, moving in political directions. I understand a lot of the positions that they take, and I get it, and I know that there ultimately is going to be some agendas that are going to have to be hashed out. To me, it was immediate, and it was like kind of, it was action.
Chris has even taken on an organizing role and has started attending Occupy meetings.
So far, I've been really impressed, and have met amazing people and have been really glad to work with everybody from Occupy. As far as the next operation, like I said before, ideology is not really my big thing, so I wouldn't be like, yes, I will support everything that this group does, but I'm an ally, so that's what it is, I guess.
People come in as volunteers and very quickly become organizers, and then the next step as we continue to push this politically is to take volunteers into organizers and then make them activists. But there have been a lot of people that were around in the fall and in the spring who kind of dipped out in the summer or even earlier that have now started to pop back up because it's the work that everyone has always wanted to do.
For committed activists, Occupy Sandy isn't just about the relief effort. They see this as an opportunity to draw attention to the same message they've been delivering since their days at Zuccotti.
We're in this situation because of what's happening with the climate, and all of us are in it. And this is an exacerbated situation of it, but it's ongoing. This is literally in our backyards right here, and in some people's it's actually their front yard and it's their home. So it's really the time now is to figure out how can we rebuild the community in a way that gives them the resources that they need to prepare for the changing, global climate situation that we're in, as well as working against making it any worse.
You know, something hit New York, it feels very real, it feels very tangible, and people feel like there is a way that they can contribute without just donating $1 to the Red Cross when they go to the ATM. And it's a unique opportunity, much like Zuccotti Park, Liberty Square was, where it's a radicalizing moment where our job while we're doing this relief and recovery work is also to show people how the situation is inherently political.
Whether or not community groups agree with Occupy's political agenda, they certainly welcome the help.
My wife commented the other day is that I didn't know what to think of Occupy until they started actually, doing what they did, because people have their own impressions of different things. But since the storm, we have gotten nothing but tremendous support from Occupy. They have been there. They're here every day. Every single day they're here with supplies, food, and moral support. And they even have a network set up where, we're in contact with a lot of other people who are helping through Occupy. So they've been a tremendous help to us.
Sameo, who has run the Action Center in the Rockaways for the last 12 years, says Occupy Sandy's volunteers have made up a significant percentage of the outside help they've received since the storm.
As you can see from the lines outside, there's a huge need. Some of the people have gotten power and electricity back, but we still have a lot of people who still don't have heat. And NYCHA is working on that project, and we've been told that the city is doing everything to have these people rehabilitated. Most of them can't return back to their apartments because their apartments have molding, and because most of the first floors in each of these buildings was flooded, including here. So this is work in progress, and it's going to take a long time.
We're kind of saying we're here till we're not needed anymore, but what exactly that means, we don't know yet, because the relief effort will hopefully not be needed after the next couple weeks. But recovery and rebuilding is going to go on for a very long time, and our role in that will change and evolve. We may not necessarily be doing the construction work, but we'll still be engaging with the communities and doing community building and creating, helping community empowerment and community connections. Like, that's the role that I hope will still continue to play.